Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping straight in to completely shatter how you look at one of the most fascinating countries on Earth.
Exactly. We're peeling right past the surface layers to look at the invisible architect of the modern world. Get ready for a seriously mind-bending conversation, because we're exploring a place that has fundamentally shaped your daily life in ways you've probably never even realized.
Part 1. Beyond the Stereotypes.
So when you hear the word India, what pops into your head first? For most of us, it's that super familiar set of assumptions handed down by popular culture. You know, Bollywood dancing, curry, the majestic Taj Mahal.
Right, but contrast that image with the actual bedrock of history that we rarely acknowledge. Numbers, chess, shampoo. It is absolutely wild to juxtapose those standard pop culture stereotypes with the foundational inventions that we literally use every single day.
Part 2. The Everyday Foundations.
Okay, let's start with a massive one, the number 0. It seems so unbelievably basic to us now, right? Just an empty circle. But the concept of 0 as a true mathematical entity, not just an empty space on an abacus, but a number in its own right, that was a totally revolutionary concept birthed by the Indian mathematician Brahmagupta in the 7th century AD.
And just think about the weight of that for a second. Every single calculation in science, technology, and computing ultimately rests on this one Indian contribution to human knowledge. Without Brahmagupta 0, the computer, the smartphone, the very internet you're using to experience this explainer right now, they absolutely would not exist. No way.
And that foundation building doesn't stop at math. It extends right into your morning routine. The word shampoo actually comes from the Hindi word kampo, which means to knead or massage. Back in the 18th century, Indian traders introduced this concept of washing hair with herbs and aromatic oils to British colonialists. They loved it so much, they brought the practice back to Europe and, boom, essentially birthed the massive global hair care industry.
Part 3. The Games We Played. Moving from our morning showers straight to our downtime, back in the 6th century AD, a highly complex game called Chaturanga was being played in India. Over time, it spread like wildfire through Persia and the Arab world, before finally taking its current form in Europe during the modern era. That game is chess. It's just amazing to think that every single grandmaster in history, from Bobby Fischer to Magnus Carlsen, is fundamentally playing a game invented in ancient India.
And hey, you know that children's game Chutes and Ladders, or Snakes and Ladders, depending on where you grew up? It actually started as something completely different in ancient India called Moksha Patam. It wasn't just some random race to the finish line based on luck. It was this highly complex moral teaching tool about virtue, fate, and consequence. The ladders represented virtues that elevated you, and the snakes? Those were vices that dragged you down.
Part 4. A Land of Extremes.
Now, India isn't just a land of ancient inventions. The purely physical scale of the place is awe-inspiring. Over 100 million years ago, the Indian subcontinent wasn't even attached to Asia. It was this enormous ancient island drifting northward across the ocean. Around 50 million years ago, it violently collided with the Asian continent, and that monumental smash is what created the Himalayas.
And the wildest part of that? The collision is literally still happening. The Himalayas are continuing to grow as we speak.
And up in those massive mountains, you find some highly specific extremes. 2,144 meters above sea level is the exact elevation of the cricket ground in Chail, Himachal Pradesh. That makes it the highest cricket ground on Earth.
The backstory on that is just absurd, by the way. It was built by a British viceroy who was banned from the nearby town of Shimla, so he stubbornly just went and built his own summer capital and threw in a record-breaking cricket ground to go with it.
And from extreme altitudes to extreme demographics, the numbers just keep getting bigger. 200 million people gathered for the 2019 Kumbh Mela pilgrimage. Over the course of 6 weeks, that massive crowd converged on one single riverbank. To put that insane scale into perspective for you, that is more than twice the entire population of Germany gathering in one single spot. It is literally the largest gathering of human beings anywhere on Earth. Let's stack another massive number right on top of that. Over 1,600 distinct dialects and languages are spoken across the country. Think about what that actually means in practice. A citizen from Kerala in the south and a citizen from Kashmir in the north share a passport, a government, and a national identity, yet their native languages are entirely mutually unintelligible. It's an entire continent's worth of diversity packed into a single nation.
Part 5. The Quiet Innovator.
And this brings us to our final takeaway. India keeps quietly inventing things the rest of the world just takes for granted. From the foundational zero that makes all of modern computing possible, to the strategic depth of chess, to the very hygiene routines we practice every single morning, we really have to reframe how we see India. It is not just a place of vibrant culture and sprawling geography. It is the invisible architect of modern daily life. So, we want to leave you with a provocative question. What else do you use today that was quietly invented in India? Take a look around your home. Look at the technology right there in your hands. Think about the games you play, and keep that curiosity alive. The world is built on hidden histories. Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer, and we hope this sparks you to look just a little closer at the origins of everything around you.